One thing that came to mind recently was I saw a woman working and she'd brought her newborn baby with her. And it occurred to me that I don't know what my folks looked like or even did back in the year I was born, which made me think, why don't I take a picture of her at work? We'll put it in an archive format and put it away so that her child can see what her mom looked like the year of her birth and where she worked. And I thought we could expand that. What if we did what the parents looked like or and where they worked, or what hobbies they did, what recreational activities they like to do? If they're gamers, then take a picture of them gaming. If they like to go out and play tennis, take a picture of them playing tennis. Take these images, and they don't have to be, uh, we're not necessarily making an album, although we could, but we want to make sure that whatever we take, in this case, it's going to be an 8 by 10, is protected so that years from now, it can be opened and viewed and look as good, or hopefully, as it did when it was first printed. And I thought what a wonderful gift for a child would be having a photo of their parents doing something other than holding them. Something that helps tell the story of their parents. Maybe you go all the way back and show them where they met, right? So going from just a simple photo that gets put away, what if we got into telling the story about how they met? Now, again, you would do this the year that the child was born. Now, some of the stuff you wouldn't necessarily do again for a second, third, or fourth child because you've already got that initial story of how they met. But if you then add to it a photo here, a photo there of them doing their hobbies, of working, of doing things that would help tell the story of them. What a wonderful gift to a child who will someday be an adult and will wonder, what was their parents like? Or if they hold up long enough, what did my grandparents look like and do? Now, for me, when I was born, I only had a grandmother on my father's side and a grandfather on my mother's side. I don't really know much about who they were. I know a little bit about my father's father, who had passed and was a house builder, as well as a bunch of other things, because you do what you need to survive. But having something to look back upon is amazing. I found a photograph, I believe it was of their wedding, judging by the way they were dressed. Unfortunately, it did not stand up to time because they were married a very long time ago. They've both passed at this point. But I was able to try to bring that back. And the problem, of course, with some old photographs is just that they didn't have the quality necessarily that we have today. And I'm not sure that this was done by a professional. It was probably done by one of their friends. But I get a snapshot of what they looked like at that particular time in their life. Now, I was born far after when they were married. My father was 46 when I was born, and my mother was 43. So a lot of time had passed on that photograph, obviously. And I just found it a couple of years ago. So it really had survived in a way I didn't expect. It was in a frame. The frame was in the closet. I don't remember seeing it around the house. So I'm not sure if my parents kept it in their bedroom. Maybe my mother put it away after my father died. I don't know. But it wasn't a frame, so it had been out and exposed to possibly sunlight, etc., which will degrade prints. But it was an amazing thing to be able to see what they looked like. And then when I saw this newborn, it just occurred to me that this newborn will have no idea what her mother was doing to support her, and I believe in a job that she likes, at the time of her birth. Now, maybe she'll keep doing the same job later on, maybe not, but we have that snapshot in time that can be viewed years and years and years from now. It's going to be wrapped in archival paper, which is acid-free, which should help protect the photograph not only from the elements, but from light. And it's going to be in a pocket that's going to be sealed and as much of the air pulled out of it as possible. So it should be in an environmentally safe environment. Yep, I know how that sounds. And that will also be put into a stiff mailing type envelope so that it doesn't get bent and then labeled. So hopefully years from now, when it's opened up, it'll still look fresh, it'll still look clean, and that snapshot of what her mother did at the year of her birth will be available for her to see. And who knows, maybe we'll get some other photographs and tell more of the story of her mother and father, or maybe hobbies of what they do. We'll see where that goes. But as a project, and this is a personal project for me, just because it's something I want to do, I feel it's important to have photographs, as I've said over and over again. And I just think that this is going to make a wonderful surprise later on in her life. You know, maybe it gets opened when she goes to college, which could be 18 years from now. Maybe it's when she have kids of her own, which could be 25, 30 years from now. But at some point, this will be opened, and that moment in time will be viewed almost like a time capsule, if you will, of what her mother was like and what her mother was doing all those years ago when she was born. And I just think it'll make a great project overall. So that's what I've got for you guys this week, and I will talk to you all next week.